for as long as she could remember. Handsome, sexy, passionate Cal Bailey, who every woman on the planet with a pulse lusted after. He was all she'd ever wanted, and when he'd asked her to marry him, it had truly been the most wonderful moment of her life. But when the day came, Angel was in an all-time low, depressed and wretched. In fact, she had been desperately unhappy for the last 6 months, ever since the birth of her beautiful and much-longed-for daughter, Honey. When Angel had found out she was pregnant, her reaction had been one of total joy, and so had Cal's. For Angel, the discovery that she was having a daughter made the news even more precious, because of what had happened in her own childhood. She'd been adopted when she was 2, since her drug-addict mother was unable to look after her. Angel longed to give her own little girl the unconditional love she'd never had from her own mother. But when Honey was born, Angel had been crippled with depression, felt she hadn't bonded with her daughter, and so far hadn't been able to tell anyone, not even Cal. She felt deeply ashamed of her inadequacy, and feared that she would be seen as an unfit mother because of it, that her daughter would be taken away from her, just as she had been taken away from her own mother. No one knew that inside she felt like she was dying, that every day it was such an effort merely to get out of bed, nor that she felt like the worst mother and the most worthless person in the world. Robbie started to ask questions about Honey. "She's absolutely gorgeous," Angel replied automatically. "And you seem to have no trouble getting your amazing figure back, did you?" he carried on. "What's the secret?" "Feeling too depressed to eat is a really good appetite suppressant," was the true answer. Instead, Angel replied, "I had the wedding to aim for, so I found it really easy to lose the weight. I just worked out and watched what I ate. Sorry," she added, hearing the collective groan from women in the audience who had not found it so easy to shift the baby weight. "I guess I was just lucky." "And so what's next? Are you moving to Italy to be with Cal?" 8 months ago, Cal had been bought by AC Milan from Chelsea. Angel hadn't wanted him to go. She was happy living in their new house just outside Brighton, close to her family and friends, and within easy distance of her modelling work in London. But it was a fantastic opportunity for Cal, and she knew she couldn't stand in his way. So far, she'd only spent a few days every other week there with him. Cal had accepted that she wanted to have the baby in Britain, and that she needed a few months to get used to being a mother before she moved to another country. But now he was getting tired of only seeing his wife and daughter part-time, and was insisting that Angel move over to Italy. "Yes, I am," she replied, forcing a smile. "Can you imagine all that shopping?" she lied. She'd lost all interest in buying things for herself, but knew that as a wag she was expected to love all things designer. "Oh, Cal had better watch his credit cards," Robbie laughed. "Actually, I've got plenty of money of my own," Angel replied a little frostily. She hated people thinking that she didn't pay her way. Cal may be a millionaire, but she'd done very well for herself with her lucrative modelling deals and valued her own independence. "Of course you have," Robbie replied a little anxiously, not wanting to upset his star guest. "Along with your modelling, there's your lingerie and swimwear range, and your perfume. Have I missed anything out?" Angel smiled. "Well, there's still my mission for world domination. I haven't quite achieved that yet." "Oh." Robbie looked slightly confused. He didn't do irony. Angel took pity on him. "There's various projects in the pipeline. One might involve a TV series in the States. That's all I can really say about it at the moment." Just before she became pregnant, she'd auditioned for a major new TV series set in LA, and they were desperate to have her. But the pregnancy had put paid to that. And anyway, at the moment she didn't feel up to going to a strange place and doing something new. It was taking everything she had to hold it together. "Well, that sounds very exciting. Good luck with it all, Angel. Give it up for Angel Summer, everyone." Thank God that was over. "Darling, you were wonderful," exclaimed Jez, her hairdresser, and one of her closest friends, as she walked wearily back into the dressing room. He was 30, pretending to be 24.